Hello, fellow Health Mavericks. I'm excited for today, as I am every Tuesday that we are live together. I love our chat. We're talking sports, we're talking plans, we're talking about health brands, and more importantly, we're just talking about community. And it's exciting. I love this 10-part series because I just think it's a reminder that you're a maverick. And to Shay was saying, Shay Mason, our amazing health expert, as well as best-selling author. She has an incredible kid series. Just saying, I think of the Dallas Mavericks. Well, the word maverick is about being this outlier. It's a great book by Malcolm Gladwell called Outliers. And it's kind of like we're not the norm, but the world needs us now. Because as I did a call with Dr. Anna last night about Zyve, our gut health weekly call, we talked about high fructose corn syrup and how the industry, the food industry, is against us. You as a consumer, all consumers are against us. They want us to buy into their marketing. They want us to buy the stuff that they're selling, and they think that they can fool us. And the reality is that we have to be our own nutrition bosses first, and then we have to have our own expertise to guide everyone. And it takes mavericks out there. So it's an honor to be to each and every one of you, whether you're live or whether you're watching the replay in our different communities, our YouTube channel, whatever it is. I love this. And today we're going to build off last week because step 2 is about your credentials. And I'm going to share that it's not about you having to go to college and getting a degree in nutrition or kinesiology or be a doctor. Your life experience, your passion is that experience. And then you need a few different credentials and training to allow you to optimally say that. But we live in a world now, before the internet, back in the 90s, you had to kind of have, you need some certifications, you needed some degrees. There were things that you needed to do. We live in a world now where information is at our fingertips. And I'm never going to discount education, but I think you can, as a maverick, you can determine the education, the courses you want to take so that you can have the necessary credentials and the right training that can grow with you. There's one thing to have knowledge. There's a great movie and book called Peaceful Warrior. And it talks about how, knowledge is knowing, wisdom is applied knowledge. So that's the difference. There's a lot of people who know a lot, but very few people have a lot of wisdom, because the wisdom is when you actually can take that knowledge and apply it. That is what the whole aspect is. And if you haven't read that book, Peaceful Warrior, or watched the movie, incredible. That's the key. Okay. What's up, everyone? Jumping in on the chat. I love this. So as we dive into it, because my goal is to keep, I know we go live at 3 on Tuesdays. That's not ideal for everybody. So my goal is to keep this tight, 30 minutes, answer any questions. But this is what we're working on right now. We talked about last week, we really talked about your story, your passion, your expertise. Today, we're going to talk about credentials and training. I'm going to have you build off of this. And this goes off on the coalition. Now, I fly to Cancun on Thursday. Hunter and I are going to Miami. And we're going to be doing a lot of cool content and videos. But there's opportunity. I'm sharing this because there's opportunity every single day. We get contacted by professional sports team. We get contacted by other brands that are looking for partnerships, that are looking for spokespeople, that are looking for influencers, health pro influencers, not from talking about social media. We're talking about like health pros who actually have an email list, that actually have some clients. And I was talking to one of our partnerships yesterday, who's head of the partnerships. And Erica was saying, health pro with clients and email lists and an actual website and business, those are the gold standards of partnerships. And the reason I'm sharing this is because too many times we feel like we're like, when you talk about credentials and training, and many times, as I've worked with a lot of health pros, is they get in their own way when their own lack of confidence. I will always say that anyone in our community is better than, I'd say, or stronger than 99% of the information out there, because you are living it, you are teaching it, you are driving it. And because you're in the coalition, because you're part of this movement side by side, opportunity after opportunity is coming. And that's the power of it. It's about using this moment to level up and train. And what I love, I had a great call with Nicole Clay, who's on this call right now. And Nicole Clay has been crushing her brand. And in our call, we said, how do we level up even more, Nicole? And she's got to come back in. And she's done all these dabbling here, and she's going to bring it in tighter. And the whole goal with these weekly calls and being a health maverick is to level up, to sharpen your tools so that when that opportunity comes, you're ready. You're ready to seize that moment, rather than when that opportunity knocks, your skill set is, your confidence isn't there. Make this the moment where you step into that greatness. That's the key. That's how we do it. And that's what this coalition is. My side, PFC3, Zive, I learned 2.5 years ago, and I've said this many times, leaders lead from the front. And I'm going to show you some stuff that we turned around in 3 weeks. Like, I'm leading from the front. Even in my new Meet Mark, which I'm going to show you in a moment to kind of talk about step one that we talked about last week. This is what it's all about. Leading from the front, because if I'm in the trenches and we're doing this side by side, I can see it. And then because I do have this experience of coaching and traveling the world and building communities in media and all of that, it's I can help drive that and help create these opportunities for everyone. Because at the end of the day, I'm doing the work because the work needs to be done. But I'm not, my goal is to do this together, to build culture, to build community, to elevate each and every one of you way beyond that I can ever succeed. That's my goal, to help everyone grow way beyond me and anyone in our partnership. Now, YouTube channel, you go to the Mark McDonald PFC3. This is the Health Maverick playlist. I just put up step one earlier, but I'm going to build off how to partner with the program, how to choosing product partnerships, and kind of these 10 simple steps. And when we think about this, it goes back that today we're doing step two, getting the credentials and training. And last week, when we talked about step one, was about your story. Now, I want you to think about when you see because credentials and training. If you're a mom, that's a credential. Let me tell you. If you're a health advocate, that's a credential. If you're a cancer survivor, Lauren's on right now, that's a credential. Kim's on, that's a credential. If you're a grief expert like Shay Mason is, that's a credential. So your story, your expertise, for me, global health expert, speaker, media personality, New York Times bestselling author, community builder. Like, that's what I am. And all of that has been credential after credential. Now, I first started as a nutritionist. So that's how I started, and a trainer. And I built from that. Now, kind of when we build off your credentials based upon your passion, your expertise, and your story. What I looked at this is I went back after a call last week and I said, wait a second, I need some updated pictures. So we updated some of the pictures. Now, if you missed it, if someone goes to, because I still think the about you on your website is everything. So for me, people are going to love me or they're not going to love me, but I'm going to make sure you know who I am. I'm an adventurer. I'm a guy that's going to live life to the fullest that I can be. I'm a family man. I'm going to focus on helping people live their greatest health and helping fellow health pros and health mavericks grow side by side. But right here, my daily mission is to live my greatest health and help as many people as possible do the same. This is part of step two. This is part of your credentials and your training. Whatever your age and health goals, because I get marketing. I do not like the idea of saying I'm just for women or my take is this. The message is going to resonate who's going to resonate with, and you'll find your perfect customer that way. Now, if you know who you are, you'll find your customer through who you are and the content you put out and the messaging you give out. So I say, whatever your age and health goals, you determine your health success. Here are a few pictures to get to know me better and see how I make quality of health a part of everything I do. You can do the same. And that talks about my media. So that's a little credential from that side. Remember, credential doesn't have to be a letter after your name. It's your life. And then so I talk about husband, dad. I talk about my own struggle. I talk about launching global nutrition throughout the world with PFC3. And then the new edition with the partnership with Carrie Lapoli. I talk about the birth of Zive. And this is a new piece I added. Because for me, I added the power of partnerships, the Health Pro Coalition, Global Community, Health Mavericks. And if you just go there, go to my About page, and you can read that. And then I added some new pictures and some new storytelling on everything that we're doing. So this is kind of like, I'm sharing this with you because step one and step two kind of go hand in hand. Next week, we're going to talk about the 3 types of money. But your step one and step two, they mirror each other. And it builds off of that. And then from your website to your social media, to your description of you, you got to decide who you are. Does this make sense to everyone? Give me a yes if it does in the chat. Let me see this. Oh, Laurel Parker. What's up, Laurel? I love Laurel Parker in here. I love that she said these calls have been so helpful. They are, because I appreciate you saying that, because I feel like every day I'm reminded of why health pros get frustrated. They overexpand. They try to do too much. They try to take on things too soon. and they forget about the basics. And you got to go back to, if you're working with a client, whether it's a personal training client, whether it's a nutrition client, whether it's a health coach client, whatever it is, it's about guiding them step by step, 1%. And you got to keep remembering the business side to that. And just like, look at my side, I went back and I made some changes on that. So this is what you can do from this side. It's important to keep remembering that. I love Laurel said, yes, building my website, these calls really motivate me. And I think that's the biggest thing. You hear all these marketing ideas, and I will just keep reminding you, marketing is very simple. You put out cool content, you stay consistent with your content, and the people who want to follow you will follow you. That's the end of it. That's how it starts to grow. So then when I think about social, I just put nutritionist, and then I have my little things on what I do. And then my links page connects me to my website. So everywhere I go, I'm taking people back to this links page on my website. We talked about this. This is kind of like my credentials and my training and my expertise. So step one and step two kind of come together in a nice way. Now, let's talk about credentials. You have to have some type of system. This is why I did, what type of program do you want to partner with? Now you let me rephrase it. You don't have to. You can go grassroots and you can kind of create something and go for it. And that's a lot of work. My take, building products and building programs, it is hard. It costs a lot of money, and it's a lot of nonsense many times. Not from the point of like not from clients or people, but just the nonsense of business sometimes, and the frustration and the creativity. Now, I'll say writing Body Confidence was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Am I happy I did it? 100%. But I've written 2 books. Do I want to write a 3rd book? Not really. It's not a lot of fun. So there's a point where I don't want to create. I've made a lot of products. Zyve is the last product I will personally make. I just don't want to. Once you do it, I don't want to keep doing it because I would rather partner. But you do need to kind of go through that process. But for you, what I would say, that where you sit in your business right now you might already have a program and you want to add it as an additional piece. But typically, when you get the right credential and you find a program you love and products you want to support, and you can get the right training, a lot of you, and you know your expertise and you know your story, you will be able to morph parts of all of this into your own process. Like, I can just see people in the chat. Nicole Clay immediately could make her own little mini program that she could sell for $9.99, simply saying, PFC3. I'm PFC3 certified. I'm a great personal trainer, and I put this magic together for women in their 50s, and they could do this, this, and this, something like that. When I see a Lauren Christmas, 22-year-old cancer survivor, 20 months of this power of reshaping her gut health, reshaping her food, and she has her own little mini program based upon this philosophy for 25-year-old women who want to go to that next level, that are struggling, or that are entering college and are suffering from the freshman 15. These are little subcategories you can do. When I see a Laurel Parker on right now, and she's building her website, Laurel, think about your expertise. Think about the story you want to say. Think about my 3 easy ways to really understand how to balance your blood sugar, learning what I did, but in your own story with your own connections. When I think about Mary Nelson, and I think about Mary from the autistic spectrum, she was a difference maker for helping us in the autistic community. And for her to say, this is a solution. She can be trained from PFC3. She can be trained from other sources. She can be trained from mental wellness, but she can take that and create her own $20 download and program off that. This is the type of stuff that you can do to expand your own creation, your own storytelling, your own building. Does that make sense to everyone? Let me see a yes from this side. Because we are not building robots here. We are building individual health mavericks, but creating a blueprint from on. That's the power of it. This is how you then leverage the stuff, and we all grow together. Law of abundance. Now, this is why PFC3 mattered. Whether it's PFC3 or another credential, this is what you need to think about. Number one, if you're going to be trained and get a credential in a nutrition program, number one, you have to live the nutrition program. First off, you got to believe in the philosophy. Number two, you got to live the program. And as you live the program, you need to think to yourself, is this something that's scalable for me to add to my business to share with my clients? That's why we created PFC3. Remember, I started with Venice Nutrition, Carrie had disruptive. I built from our Venice platform, Zen Project 8, well, Core, Zen Project, well, RVL with Motivate, then Core, then Zen Project 8, then Nitro Nutrition. It was all Venice. It was all our program. And then like we then merged it all together to create the same philosophy that we've done around the world, PFC3. So is it something, the 28-day jumpstart, the 100 days, you want to make sure that it's a program or a credential and training that connects to what you're going to be teaching. You then got to ask yourself if that's a yes, well, what about the training? Am I going to get certified to actually train? The way we did the PFC3 cert is we built off the 100 days and 1%. We wrote the 100 days and trained the 100 days for a consumer. And then we did the certification to train the coaches on how to teach the 100 days. That's the power and the consistent support. You then got to ask yourself, is it set up? Is it easy for me to learn? Once I'm certified, how do I add it into my business? Do I get additional training? That's all part of the certification. Yes, you do. Weekly calls. This is the type of stuff. Now you're a PFC certified nutrition and lifestyle coach. You can add that credential. Maybe you look at personal training with ACE. PFC3, our lifestyle coach, just got approved by ACE, 10 CEUs. So we're going to take this certification and add it to all of these different sort of other certifications. So maybe you want to add training to it. Maybe you do ACE certified or you do NSAM. But whatever type of credential you're taking, you got to go step by step through all of this and making sure that it connects to what you're doing. This is the power. Yeah, that's exciting. So yeah, 10 CEUs. Coach Steph Sharp-Ward, another incredible health pro. She's the one who led the charge for that. And we'll do all of the different bodies so that you get, so that you can utilize the PFC because it is the most robust nutrition certification in the space from start to finish. There's other good certifications, but remember, we're very clear on what we teach, but then also the code system, how you apply it into your business. Like what I love about this, and we can show so many different sites, but when you think about this and you go back to my site, okay, my programs, can what I do with my credential work seamlessly into this? Well, with the PFC3 program, with me working with clients, I can Zoom, I can set them up. I'm still the boss. I'm still leading my clients, but I'm able to set them up to win. That's the type of stuff that you want to make sure that when you think about your credentials and your training, how are you consistently leveling up the work that you're doing? I think of Kim, who's on this call as well. And what's fun about Kim, and remember, I only talk from the chat. The attendance is, I have a different screen open, so I can't list all the people attending. So if you're in the chat and you want me to like talk about you, then like meaning coach you as I see this, I can give when the chat helps me see that. So I think about Kim, who's also a cancer survivor, who also has this great story about empowering women. So these are many things that she can do. Her credentials, she's certified PFC3, she's nutrition, lifestyle coach. She can implement other credentials as well. Maybe Kim has others. Put those in the chat if you do, Kim. But then she also has her life experience. That's a credential. So never negate that. Never negate where you are as your own life experience. Own that, because that allows, there's a lot of health people out there. There's a lot of health experts out there. Your secret sauce is the credentials, one thing, the training's one thing. But that magic you bring is what it's all about. I love that. So, and Kim's got business certs through LinkedIn. So this is all the stuff. And I don't want you to feel like you have to go through all these things, like you have to add your long list. It's not this. We have so many people think I need this credential to actually become legit. You're legit right now. All you have to do is make sure what are the credentials that are going to allow you to work with the audience you want, connects to your passion, connects to your expertise, connects to your story. Now, as we build off that, the next thing you got to think about is products. Talked about how to choose a product. Because if you're recommending a gut health product, if you're recommending a blood flow product, if you're recommending a neurological homeostasis product like Zyve, Vinia, Super Patch, Stem Regen, like if you're recommending these things, number one, do you use the product? Because you better use what you recommend. And that's the reality. If you don't, then there's just no authenticity to that. Do you have your own story connected to it? Do you have your own story with the program you teach connected to it so that it's something that actually connects to you? Because products is next week, we talk about the 3 types of money. Products and auto, like your business isn't built around products, but they can bring like a good product partnership can bring you another grant, $1,000 a month, or 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5. Like you can make money, residual revenue on subscribe and save. Now, you want to make sure that if someone goes to the site, what's the consumer look like? So you got to go through a consumer site. That's why Zive is so clean. Our conversion's great, success stories, reviews. But then like when you partner, like how are you going to partner? What's the flow of it? When I go right here, what's the commission that you're going to be paid? Does this make sense? Can you do wholesale? Is it simple? Then can you get training? Remember, certification and training. How are you going to get trained? How are you going to focus on this? With Zive, we do weekly gut healthing calls with Dr. Anna. By you being on those, like last night, we exposed high fructose corn syrup. That alone is a skill set for you to share on your own platform. So these partnerships, training and credentials allows you to focus on this. It allows you to consistently build from that perspective and then go from there. So when I come right here, I'm looking from this perspective that right here, images, reels, social posts. I go right to the resources. Do I have things that are going to allow me to grow? Am I able to take these things and learn from it? Can I actually become an advocate for this product company? Can you do a reel that we can then do a collab on? These are the things you're thinking about when you look at credentials and training. Every second you invest on something can be a positive or can be a negative. Every hour you go on that side. So you have to lock in on step one. What's your passion? What's your expertise? What's your story? Step two, what do you need to do from a training wise and a credential wise to do that? All I'm showing right now are different examples. When you think about what programs are you going to recommend? What certifications do you need? What products do you want to do? You got to go back to those things because all of that is training. If you're recommending a product and they have no support for you and you can't really explain it, well, now you're just a product pusher. Who wants that? Like for me, coming from so many years, mainstream and I live two worlds I'm at the same time, mainstream and the MLM world. What I hate about the MLM world, and will always hate about it, is I'm generalizing here. This doesn't apply to everybody. It applies to most, though. It's a focus on an opportunity, not the quality of a product. It's a quality of the training. It's not really. It's like the products are secondary, and the business and the opportunity is forward thinking. And to me, that's backwards. Because I'm a health guy, and I love products, and I'm never gonna. My goal isn't to make money from products. Maybe third or fourth level. My goal is to build off my brand and create great offerings and build from that side and help people. And then products will work within what I do because it's my whole ecosystem of what I do when a client comes to me. But my focus isn't to drive an opportunity and have someone else sell a product for me. Never has been. It's to help everyone win. That's the key. So when you think about step one and step two, you want to go back to it and you want to go back to how can that work from your perspective. Now here, if I go back here and I move right to the two types, 1 and 2 go side and side so that you can win from that perspective. Now, before I go on, I want to make sure, does that make sense to everyone? Give me a yes if we're good with this stuff, that it all is clear. Okay, yes, yes, okay. That's going to be your assignment. 1 and 2, get clear on your expertise, your story. Get clear on your training and your credentials. And then you need to go to your website. What are you calling yourself? Number 2, what are you going to focus on from the point of on your social media? Now, I was talking about how fast things can move because there's opportunity here. And I'm going to always lead from the front. So as you know, with our partnership with FitHive, we built my site. Now we've done a ton of sites. But I wanted to find, I'm a coach and I build coaching practices virtually and in person. So 3 weeks ago, I went to Lauren, who's certified, and Hunter, and I could say their sites. They're set up with their own LLC. They're set up with Stripe. And I love this. This is Lauren's site, and we've been sharing it. And I love this. Certified nutrition, lifestyle coach, and cancer survivor. She's owning her story at 22. I've walked the hard road, gut issues, grief, burnout, and came out stronger. Now I help people eat smarter, train efficiently, and optimize their gut health to feel and live their best health. Like that's Lauren. Now Lauren can be like, oh, I'm helping, women in their 20s. But why? To me, why? Why do that? Give it your message and then connect, because I know going to events with Lauren that there's a lot of women in their 40s and 50s and men that want to learn. So from this perspective, I think be clear on your message and your audience will come to you. And then I love this, 2 simple options. So you can go through her site on this side, and then she has her Instagram set up. And then Hunter is the next one. And I love this, fitness coach, nutrition guide, adventure seeker. Right there. He wrote that himself. Lauren wrote hers herself. Live boldly, train intentionally, eat for freedom. Welcome, I'm Hunter McDonald. I help everyday athletes, high performance, and curious minds level up their energy, strength, and mindset through food, movement, and recovery. And then like right here, then Hunter can put the featured on, because I've taken Hunter around the world, and he's been on Tennis Channel, CNN, HLN, Dr. He's been on everything with me. So he has that. He can say that because he has been featured. And then he drives this, and he's got his little picture, and then he's got his program and services. So when you look at the 2 differences, they're different sites, but they're very clear on who they are from a credentials and a training. See, that's the power of it. So that's why I want to write everyone on this side. I want you to remember that you're great right now. Don't overthink it. Be true with it and see how you can make it tighter and tighter. And if you're already with FitHive, been working with Sunny every day, fine-tune your website, get it clean. When you go to Lauren's site, laurenchrisman.com, huntermcdonald.me, like those sites, they're clean, they're links page. You're going to see this evolution. My site, you're going to see these things. Get your site right. Get it focused, get it clear. Make sure your social connects to it. You're in charge on that side, because step 1 and step 2, without those 2 steps, nothing else matters. When we go back to that list of building your brand, without clarity of your vision, your passion, your story, your expertise, nothing's possible. Everything is possible with that vision, that clarity, and that expertise. Everything is possible if you're clear on your credentials, which is basically, what do you do? Who are you? And then you have the training that supports it. This is what it's all about. I love that. Kim said Hunter looks off. And you can see difference. Hunter primarily is going to work with athletes. So his site will move to probably men a little bit more than women. And Lauren's site's color scheme will drift more to women than men. But guess what? They're both going to work with both sexes. They're both going to work with men and women. It's just going to be a little different on that. That's how it all works on that. Oh, Mary just said, I want Lauren's site. Yes, Mary, I'm telling you. So if you go and like we laid it out side by side. If you go to the site, it is so good. laurenchrisman.com, coaching, speaking. Lauren's got to get a couple speaking things, but like she has her own book, Lauren to Speak, you know, from this side, all of these particular things. So like, it's just really good from there. And then these are the products. She's adding these links. I'll have information for everybody. If they want to, if we have the new Super Patch, the Nuvinia, Stem Regen, I'll send you all of that because we have new movements going on with each one of those products and Melt. But like, this is what you're going to start to see. This is how it's all there. So it's all coming. Those Stem Regen, Vinia, and Super Patch, I think within the next week and a half, we'll all have the same system that we have with Zyve. And then Melt has a different system. And then we're always carnivore snacks we're working with right now. We might add those to the sides. So it becomes systematic, scalable. And once again, you're the brand. It all funnels through you. You offer your programs, your coaching, your speaking, your cash flow for time. You're duplicating yourself through these little mini digital offerings that you can offer based upon your stuff. And then you're focusing on the residual revenue, member subscription, product subscription, subscribe and save. Every product company that we're recommending in the coalition has lifetime commissions. Clean, simple, proper, no minimum order. You don't have to buy product to do it, any of that stuff. And you always already get your discount as a strategic partner with them. So next week, we're going to talk about the 3 types of money. One more thing on my site, Lauren's site, and Hunter's site, you're going to see is an opt-in. We're going to have generic opt-ins. I'm doing a gut health and blood sugar opt-in that anyone can copy if they want, inviting people to the Monday calls. And then, so I'm going to have an opt-in on my site for consumers. And then I'm going to have an opt-in for health professionals, health mavericks. And the bonus will be our Monday night gut health call and this Tuesday call, but we're going to have downloads for them. Lauren's going to have a download. Hunter's going to have a download. So just keep watching these. Next week, I'll talk about that because part of the 3 types of money is building your list. So you have these 3 types of offers that you can recommend through your time, through your digital, so duplicating yourself. And the third thing is going to be through what you're offering through subscriptions or products. Okay, there we go. I love that. Shay, let's do this. Shay's ready. I see Shay, best-selling author, and I said, you have this incredible brand. Let's bring it all together. I love you, fellow Health Mavericks. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for asking stuff. Make sure you reach out. Make sure you stay engaged. Next week, we'll dive right into the 3 types of money. That's a big call. Awesome, great graphics for us, and we'll dive into that. And as I said, in this 10-step series, if I feel there's a thought leader I can bring in, that will bring, and I will throughout this series, I will announce who that person is, and they're going to be the best in the space. Okay, massive hugs. Let's go. Bye, everyone.